Welcome to Alley Chats. Today, my guest is Eric Scull. Eric, I am so glad you're here. Why don't you tell everybody about yourself?
It's great to be here. Thank you for coming to my booth. I am a host of a long-running, in fact, the longest-running Harry Potter podcast. We are a weekly affair. We're your weekly ride into the wizarding world. We cover all of the news and discussion and theories about everything that's been going on and will go on regarding Harry Potter and the larger wizarding world.
Very cool. So how long have you been running?
We started in August of 2005. So this year is our super special 15th anniversary.
Wow, that is absolutely incredible. So I see you've got buttons and things here at your table.
We got buttons. We got buttons. Definitely have a button.
Being podcasters, we got to play that theater of the mind thing up that we're not doing on the other episodes. So.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. No, please take a button and take one for your family or friends or anybody else. But we got tons of buttons. Yeah, we're just here talking about our show, trying to raise awareness. We know there's more podcasts than ever. You know, when we started this, there were definitely podcasts, but very few of the podcasts that were there or then are still running. So it's kind of been, we've seen, podcasts ebb and flow and the growth and really just, it's amazing. But now there are so many podcasts out there. And so we decided we needed a physical presence at this booth to just meet people's eye and say, hey, you like Harry Potter? Come and check us out.
So let's talk about your show for a second.
Sure.
When you've run that long, I mean, there's only so many books and there's only so many movies.
Right.
What are some of the different types of episodes that you've come up with? I mean, it can't just be, hey, let's watch the movie and discuss it.
Absolutely. Well, the way that we solved for that early on was before all of the books were out, before the movie adaptations came, which followed, we were able to talk theory, right? Strategizing, thinking about what will happen? How will it end? How will it all come together? And that was a majority of content for the first, I want to say, 2 years of the podcast leading up to the release of book 7. Then immediately after the final book in the series, when the canon was technically over or closed, we started talking about what did happen. What just happened? What did we just read? That kind of thing. But we were doing episodes based on, we would say, pick a character from the books and talk about sort of their entire arc throughout the bookends of the story. The interesting thing about J.K. Rowling and using her work to do this in is she was a very intentional, she is like a structured writing system. And so you find a lot of really cool key points and touchstones that play off one another in various books, sort of basically really interesting things leading for good discussion in podcasts. So we talked about that for a bit, but then, while the movies were still coming out, and even now that there's new movies and J.K. Rowling has had a number of websites and a number of the merchandise and these things, we're able to talk about current news. We're able to talk about the fandom in general. This is a global franchise. Definitely interests a lot of people across various backgrounds, various interests, and seeing how they all interact with the media has been fantastic. And just recently, we actually, before Black Friday of last year, we did an episode we'd never done before, which is, what are we going to buy this Christmas? And it was just, complete carte blanche of the Harry Potter, multimedia merchandise. What is it that interests us? Because after so many years of doing this, we've certainly collected a lot of Harry Potter stuff.
I'm sure you've got a lot of stuff, right?
But seeing it, what's new? What's exciting, right? Because, and at times we've experienced, fandom fatigue. Things have ebbed and flowed. Like I've said, like we are back from, in fact, there was a very brief hiatus. And it was 2011, the final film had come out. And we were like, okay, there's not a lot to talk about anymore. We're going to close. And we did sort of a farewell episode that was, very emotional. And we got some old original co-hosts on, a bunch of other stuff. And about 2 weeks later, J.K. Rowling announced a new play that was set in Harry's world would be.
So you're back in business.
London, oh my gosh, it was barely a month, and we were back going, well, okay, there's stuff to talk about again. It's been a journey.
Wow. Wow, so cool. So let's shift gears here a little bit.
Yeah.
This is your dream con. Who are you most excited to meet here?
I am switching gears just a little bit because a lot of the OG Harry Potter actors, don't necessarily make their way over to this part of town to do conventions.
They do, and it's a dream con.
Yeah, it's a dream con. The guy I most want to meet out of everybody is an old Star Trek actor, a guy I knew from Star Trek, John Delancey.
Oh, good call.
He is elusive, let me tell you. Back in 2014, 2015, 2016, I would go to the Star Trek conventions that were here in Chicago, run by Creation, or in Chicago, run by Creation, and I think that it just is some kind of serendipitous, or the opposite of serendipitous. There's a wall. I just can't meet him. He had to cancel a last-minute appearance due to appearing in a play in LA this one year, and the thing is, I got this big poster of the Starship Enterprise D from Star Trek The Next Generation, and I had everybody sign it. Patrick Stewart, Brent Spiner, Jonathan Frakes, Michael Dorn, Marina Sirtis, Gates McFadden, LeVar Burton, everybody. But there's this special, 6-inch by 12-inch area at the top of it. And I really want John Delancey as Q, as sort of the overseeing guy of all these characters in this show, to be the big signature at the top of the poster, and it's been something of a life goal for me.
Wow, that is a really good one. So with so many cons that are canceling or postponing right now, what is the best way people can support creators during this pandemic? I mean, there's obviously things like Patreon, but what do you think are the best ways you can support a creator?
I feel like definitely sharing and spreading the word, but also keeping in mind or keeping an eye on what these creators are doing themselves, because I've seen a lot of creators who, normally would in fact be at these cons, meeting people, shaking hands, things that we don't know when we're going to get those back. Instead, hosting web chats, hosting get to know me's kind of, videos and different ways of meeting people online. And then fortunately, their friends and people who know them already are boosting that signal. So I've seen a lot of creators directly reaching out, also producing new content or releasing content of, a little bit of their content as sort of a teaser or a sample of what you would normally, how you go to a con and you go to a booth and you page through an artist portfolio, or you page through, samples of their work in any format. And creators are doing that, but they're having to do it on sort of a digital platform. So
right.
It's basically, the game has changed. The game stayed the same, but the tactics have changed in terms of, and it's hard because the internet is a great big nebulous, abyss. And so it's really about networking. It's about finding the interests that you share, like finding out where people who share the interests that you cater to are on the infinite space. But I'll say the other thing, there's more engagement than ever on the internet because more people are home with nothing to do.
Yeah, very true. Very true. So MuggleCast has a Patreon, right?
MuggleCast, yeah. MuggleCast
How does that
work?
work?
So we are a weekly podcast, which is just insane to think about after all these years that we still are finding enough content to go weekly. But on our Patreon, we actually managed to find really cool, special content that we do. So we basically give, in addition to the discussions that we are having on the show, we do twice monthly a bonus discussion, which is 10-15 minutes of just something else that's probably related to what we're talking about on the show, but we go extra in depth. We go extra deep. We talk about things that aren't, just surface level. They're just the more involved things that we're really super passionate about, just based on whatever our natural discourse has been. We also allow patrons to listen live to our live recordings, comment during, special feedback sessions, and some really interesting, unique perks and ways that they can affect and change the show and contribute to the show in a way that is obviously unique to Patreon.
Yeah. Yeah, really cool. Now, you guys don't have any crowdfunding projects going currently, do you?
Nothing currently, but let me tell you about, so tonight. Tonight. Yes, as a matter of fact. So I have an autograph session with John Delancey at like 4:00, but then at 6:00, I'm going to be part of, it's actually at 6:30, we're hosting a live trivia event using this service called CrowdPer, which is really, really cool. And we are going to be doing live Harry Potter trivia for, I think, about 200 people's capacity. And it's all 7 books, 7 rounds, 7 questions, 7 books, 49 questions plus a bonus one, 50 questions total tonight. And anyone online, this is what I'm talking about, creators doing digital things. We are hosting a digital Harry Potter trivia night.
Fantastic. Now, where do they find that exactly?
Specifically, there will be a link on the MuggleCast Twitter account or social media in general, and it's all just, everything is just MuggleCast.
And what time?
6:30 Central, 7:30 p.m. Eastern.
Okay, because I have somebody in this house that is going to move heaven and earth to be on that at 6:30, so I just wanted to make sure.
I look forward to hearing and seeing how they do.
Yes. So, okay. How do people get in touch with you?
Yeah,
you got any specifics, and are there any social media links that you want to give out?
Sure. So it's mugglecast.com, and that is an easy way. We actually have an Instagram where we post clips from the show week by week to kind of show people what we're talking about, and share, obviously, the deluge of Harry Potter memes as well that occurs because Harry Potter is still a global brand. But yeah, just MuggleCast, MuggleCast on all those platforms. Me personally, you can find me, I'm mostly on Twitter. I do a lot of retweets, kind of something that I'm trying to do and really just always find natural. I don't do a lot of original tweeting, but I do retweet my friends who are all funnier and smarter than I am jokes about, pretty much anything, quarantine and politics and all the stuff that makes life a little bit difficult. I try and have a good time with it, but I'm over on Twitter at Spielerman, Spielerman on Twitter, and that's just something I like to do over there, passes the time.
Very cool, Eric. Thank you so much for being on, and I encourage everybody.
Thanks for stopping by.
I encourage everybody to jump on tonight and do the trivia and subscribe to MuggleCast. I know that it's a favorite in our house, and it was just really great to sit and talk with you, Eric. Thanks.
Yeah, no, likewise, and don't forget, take a button.
You can find Alley Chats on Facebook by searching for @AlleyChats. You can also visit us at our webpage, smgpods.com/AlleyChats, for links to all our episodes and other cool stuff. One easy way to support our show is to rate and review Alley Chats wherever you listen to your podcasts. Those ratings really help us out and help others find our show as well. Alley Chats is produced and edited by Rob Southgate for Southgate Media Group. Be sure to subscribe to Alley Chats because you definitely don't want to miss an episode. Thanks again to our affiliate sponsors, Hunt-A-Killer and Tweaked Audio. Links to them are on our webpage and in the show notes. This wouldn't be possible without them. Our theme song is by Benny and the No Goods. Check out their awesome music at bennyandthenogoods.bandcamp.com. If you're an artist or writer or creative type that would have a table at an artist alley and would like to be on Alley Chats, message us through the Facebook page or email us directly at southgatemediagroup@gmail.com and we'll set up an interview. Thanks for listening, everybody. We'll be back tomorrow with another fantastic show.